Hi, my name is Alex Gisbert. I'm the CEO of Fastpayhotels. And I'm at HEDNA today talking about innovating in the B2B space. And someone will say, B2B, wholesale, bed banks, ugh. And the reality is this is an incredibly relevant channel for today for so many hotels around the world. 80% of bookings made, certainly in the leisure space in Italy, for example, are still made through non-OTA type intermediaries. That figure's even higher in Brazil, and we're still seeing many businesses in Asia still investing, and many customers still making their bookings through traditional B2B space, right? So, Fastpayhotels, we're 2 years old. We're based in Mallorca in Spain, a bunch of ex-Expedia folks, ex-Amadeus folks, and we decided to essentially tackle what we considered was a problem. Back in the good old days, right, hotels used to receive visits from people who signed pieces of paper with FIT rates on them. These FIT rates were loaded into systems, published into brochures, holidays and vacations were constructed out of them, and these FIT rates and static rates of old were distributed in pretty simplistic, pretty perfect way. Over time, we saw some really powerful, really clever brands like Booking.com and Expedia start applying some really interesting technology and using dynamic rates, managed to really conquer and begin to do a lot more distribution around the world and reaching all sorts of consumers all around the world, right? However, today, what we're seeing is that all of those techniques for global distribution are being applied to the wrong rates at the wrong time through the wrong operators, and we genuinely have a completely chaotic world. As a hotelier today, you genuinely have so little chance of really controlling where your rates end up, and every time you issue any kind of FIT or static rate, or really take away anything out of the dynamic channels, you're exposing yourselves to what is totally an utter chaos. We believe there are at least 180 operators around the world who are focused on essentially taking the wrong rates and selling them in the wrong place. This is mad. This is totally mad. But as a hotelier, you're essentially up against a dirty book of tricks that these kind of operators have to break parity, to put rates on, off at the weekends, to play with IP addresses. I really feel for revenue managers anyway. This is incredibly difficult space to work in. Yet people want to keep investing in the B2B space. And hotels, we've been hearing a lot of really cool initiatives at HEDNA. Revenue management, emerging channels, brand investment, loyalty. All of these things, for so many properties, are rendered completely useless when they essentially have no control of where their rates end up, because the wrong rates are ending up in the wrong place through these B2B channels. We're seeing huge, this is an absolute waste of time for so many hoteliers today. And our feeling is this totally has to stop. It doesn't really work, it's not scalable, and it's certainly not something that was going to work into the future. We went out and we quizzed some of the really big stakeholders in hotels over a 12-month period. Sales directors telling us, I have no control over my rates. Hotel owners telling us, I'm having to give credit and having to take risk on who pays me and how. Administration and finance teams saying it's complex, it's invoicing, it's a huge amount of work to deal with non-dynamic rates that are being passed through the B2B channels. So Fastpayhotels essentially believes there has to be a better way for us to scale and deliver B2B demand, which continues to be relevant through to hotels anywhere in the world. And that is essentially what we've done over the last 2 years. Using some pretty cool techniques, we've onboarded 26,000 hotels. We're distributing these to 5,000 travel agents. And over the course, and we've done this with a team of 12 and one robot who we call Zoe. And the good news is we're going to recruit some more. We have to. We're going to recruit 2 new robots over the course of the year, because we believe that all of these processes can be automated and scalable. And how have we done this? What is it that Fastpayhotels does that makes sense to all these hotel partners? Well, ultimately, we're distributing to B2B on the back of dynamic rates only. We have a hugely low incidence of parity issues. We're making it super simple to pay. Fastpayhotels pays all of its hotel bookings on the same day that that booking is made. If you're working at a brand today that has a huge franchisee network, let me tell you now, franchisees love money today rather than money later. It's a huge win in this kind of channel. Fastpayhotels has a massively automated content procedure. We don't have huge outsourced teams at some nether region in the world that's working on manually loading content and building lots and lots of hotel shells that are essentially inaccurate and not working. We're able to scale massively on the amount of hotels we're able to load. In fact, we're able to load around 500 hotels per day into our system, which is a huge win, particularly if you're a large hotel brand and looking to expand into this space. And fundamentally, Fastpayhotels is able to really consider where that final rate's going to end up and work very, very closely, less so with sales directors, but much, much more with the e-commerce and revenue management teams about the same kind of thinking that revenue managers are talking about when they talk about brand.com, they talk about OTAs, but some of that really smart thinking, start bringing it into B2B space, which is absolutely key. Running around targeted promotions and fundamentally looking at search, conversion, traffic data, and understanding how to optimize this channel professionally and into the future, rather than putting rates down on a piece of paper which you don't know where they're going to end up. And we scale. We absolutely scale. We're not limited by the amount of offices that we need. We're not limited by the amount of people that we have on the ground. We're absolutely able to scale this, which allows us to be able to target a lot of tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4 cities. And what do I mean by that? Traditionally, B2B channels and FIT and static rates have been focused on the Londons, the Singapores, and the New York of this world. Fastpayhotels is distributing the Toulouses, the Austins, the Tallahassees, essentially, to B2B channels also. And there is huge demand for these, but traditionally, these kind of properties have not been flowing through correctly through the B2B channels. And Fastpayhotels' scalable model is able to do that. So how are we doing? We're really, really humbled and super, super proud to be working already with some of the brands up here on the slide. It's been super exciting for us. In 2017, we delivered bookings in 81 different countries around the world from 23 nationalities. We're super excited about having onboarded all of these brands already, and we'll be onboarding more, hopefully over the course of the next months. This is an Innov8 panel. Have we really innovated? Well, I haven't stood here today and shown you the nearest blockchain or a fantastic app or some really funky technology. But it's clear that we're doing something at speed, efficiently, and at a low cost. But for us, what we really believe is that the real innovation is taking a really old-fashioned model and taking it to the future, taking it into a partnership execution, and certainly making it scalable for you for many years to come. Thank you very much.